Whoa, who's that just went out in turn 2?
And 16 car.
Now Biffle's off the pace. Okay. Somebody else just shot way up the racetrack out of that pack.
There you see the catch can at the left rear. Catches the over excess fuel coming out on the backstretch.
And it almost hit Burton's teammate, Greg Biffle.
Yeah.
Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is proud to sponsor the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier in each NASCAR Nextel Cup race. Greg Biffle, second-year driver from Vancouver, Washington, earned his first Bud Pole Award, zipping around this 2.5-mile track at an average of over 188 miles an hour since 1979. Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $8 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. Unfortunately for Biffle, he won't get to keep that pole position because of an engine change in his car since Thursday's qualifying races. By rule, he'll have to go to the back of the field.
Greg Biffle, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Got you, BP.
Hey, for a week you've been on the penthouse, the 25th floor. In about one lap, you're going to the basement, to the very back of the field. Your thoughts?
I'll tell you what, the National Guard car is really, really fast. This Yates round horsepower under the hood. I don't think I'm going to be there very long. I got a really good race car. You know, the Bud Pole trophy's at my motorhome, and they've made the check out to me. So it's unfortunate we got to go to the back, but we think we got a really good race car.
Can you beat Junior?
If I'm in front of him, I can beat him, but I'm not going to be for quite some time. So we'll see. Pit strategy is going to be important. When this car's out front, it's really fast.
Good luck, Greg.
Greg Biffle getting set to pull out of line and drop to the end of the field on this pace lap after the engine change in his number 16 Ford.
Oh, there's Biffle.
Is that Biffle?
It might have been Biffle that got in the wall.
Yeah, it was BP.
Yeah, just with the right rear, just a tiny bit. It's okay.
Unfortunately,
still coming inside. 3 wide on the bottom.
when you hit the wall like that, even if it's a little bit, you lose a lot of momentum and you lose a lot of positions.
And you also lose a lot of downforce on that right rear. Bill?
And he'd already had overheating problems, Benny. They elected not to bring him in under the caution, but I heard the number 250 while they were under green while he was in the draft.
250 is not going to work here today. Not for long. See him, he just makes contact right there, left a tire mark on the wall.
And these fenders are so finely tuned. They spend weeks and months getting these fenders tuned in a wind tunnel to be just the perfect shape. And he's just rearranged it.
Yeah, and turn 2 is the trouble spot on this racetrack for a car to push or not turn. And if you just get the right cars around you and you get in the wrong position, all of a sudden it just feels like you hit ice and you go sliding up the racetrack, and that's exactly what it looked like Biffle had. No grip in the front.
Well, these guys have been pretty good so far, but some of these fellas are getting a little bit antsy, and that's when you have some trouble.
What a performance by Greg Biffle. What a performance by Tony Stewart's team. Remember?
Oh, look at that. Sorry there, Alan.
That's okay.
Boy, that 48 car got a run, and
now he's going to get hung out.
I don't know. Ooh, a little loose there with Biffle down on the bottom. His car got a little sideways on him. That's going to cost him a little bit.
He told me that his car is bottoming out the front cross member. Oh, some trouble there. Got in the left rear of the 48. He told me that his car is bottoming out down between 1 and 2, the front cross member. That's probably what happened to him there, Wally.
Well, I'll tell you what, he better not do that with somebody on his bumper, or he's going to be sideways, because if Dale Jr. was like that, when his car bottomed out, that car will turn sideways.
NASCAR Race Control just delivering a message via the pit road official assigned to Greg Biffle's team about blocking.
Blocking?
Little warning.
And they just told Biffle on the radio, just go run some laps, Greg. Just run some laps.
He's got Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuffed right up under his rear bumper right now. See Biffle kind of hung there in that outside lane. Cars beginning to draft by him. Scott Wimmer in the 22 goes to 3rd. Here comes Kevin Harvick in the 29 to 4th.
And Biffle's just having a hard time staying in the draft. He can stay in the draft. I think he has a car, but it's just running hot. He's got to get that car out in the air, and that's killing him in the draft.
Greg Biffle got a little run at Stewart for the race lead off the start-finish line tri-oval, and
Wow, got a heck of a run.
And that's the move he was trying to work up to. He wanted to pass him in the tri-oval. Then he got out of line. Tony wouldn't let him by, and then he started losing spots.
Got no help in that outside lane. And Greg Biffle's chance to win the Daytona 500 is gone. He's on pit road to serve a penalty for speeding coming in for his pit stop last time by. Unless the caution comes out and allows him to catch up to the pack. Sorry, Greg.
Yep.
Have to wait till next year.
And we saw when he made his entry on the pit road, all the ground that he made up, you knew that he was too fast, and the NASCAR officials did not let it pass. Here's the cars coming on the pit road just a moment ago. There we see Junior tries his best to get in front of Tony Stewart, can't go out and make it. But look at Biffle up there. He just passes all these cars as he entered pit road. Look at the ground he made up, and that's obviously speeding.
Yeah, the wheels locked up.
No kidding.
Yep.
Crash. Well, Rusty got through it. Here we go.
Harvick slides up in front of traffic.
Cars upside down, cars everywhere. Come on.
And turn 4 is calamity corner once again. The field is frozen. Jeff Gordon came across with Stewart and Johnson side by side, but there are half a dozen cars littered between turn 3 and the start finish line.
All right.
Last year's third place finisher Scott Wimmer, the 29 of Kevin Harvick, the 42 of Jamie McMurray.
One of these cars was just standing up on its nose, swimming, spinning around like a water spout.
Greg Biffle. Here's how it unfolded between turns 3 and 4.
Because something happened to Greg Biffle, the 16 car that triggered all this.
I believe, watch it and see if it's Harvick's car. Oh, no, it's the 22 car.
Scott Wimmer.
Look at him just spinning around. He got up on his nose and come back down on his wheels.
There's a car off the pace back there.
No.
Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car.
Looks like he made contact with somebody.
Yes, there's another car that's slow around here someplace. Is it Greg Biffle right behind him?
No?
Biffle's trying to get around. Mayfield's trying to get to pit road. He's clearly had contact with another car. Matt?
And they're asking Biffle, did he bounce off the wall or off another car? Biffle thinks he does have a tire going down, but he has been bitten by that in the past when he thought he either had a tire going down or a loose wheel and then didn't. He's right now trying to feel it out.
Well, I don't think they made contact with the 19. We'll see if we can see what happened with Jeremy Mayfield. Way up high, and he's got that Mike Wallace did the same exact thing that Vickers did to Martin Truex. He came off of 2 loose, and he squeezed right in front of or up into Jeremy Mayfield. And then Mayfield came down and hit
and did get
the 16 car, yeah.
That's exactly. Oh, he got crashed behind him. Crashed behind him. The caution is out. The race is over. Jimmy Johnson has won the Daytona 500. Now we'll go back and find out why the caution came out.
There's Biffle in the 16 car. He just goes up high and car just gets loose. And around he goes all by himself.
Goes back up the track.
I tell you, everybody today has done a great job missing crashes.
Back to the crew chief roundtable. We've caught up with Pat Tryson, who is now the crew chief for Greg Biffle in the number 16 AmeriQuest Ford. Okay, so you had some help with Matt Kenseth. That's now gone. What's going to happen here on this green-white checker finish? You've got a Ford back there in David Gilliland. Are you going to get some help with him?
I'm not sure what they're going to do, but the AmeriQuest Ford Fusion's been great all day. Greg's done an awesome job, and I'm hoping the 38 stays with us, and we try to get a run on the 5 and the 01 and see if we can't get a Ford in victory lane, and hopefully get Greg his first Daytona 500 championship, and we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping the Fords stick together, and if the 38 doesn't get to us, we got some 2 teammates coming. Hopefully that'll give us a good push.
All right, yeah, and he said we were looking for his first Daytona 500 win. Greg Biffle did win at this track in July, but this one, Chris Myers, is just a little bit bigger.
Green flag.
I don't believe he can wait very long, Larry. I believe if you're going to make the move, you got to make it quick. I don't think he can wait too long. If they're going to get him, they need to jump to the outside right away.
Watch your bottom there.
You know he's not going to give up the bottom, so you got to go to the outside.
Still.
Look at the outside line. Jeff Gordon in that 24 car with his teammate Casey Mears, but Casey leaves him out there.
Now, one back. All single file behind you. He's coming hard, about half back now.
Now, when these guys on the outside, when they get side by side with these other cars, they're done. We're coming to the white flag.
It's up to the 5 of Kyle Busch. How long can he wait if he's going to go?
Still single file.
White flag, 1 lap to go.
Coming to the white, man. Coming to the white. Single file behind you.
Front 4, single file.
Here they go. They got to go. They got to get Mark. They got to move him somehow.
He gets back to that yellow line right around the bottom, all the way through turn 1 and 2.
Mark Martin is driving the race of his life, and there's nobody that's better at holding people off at Daytona.
And Kyle Busch lagged back a little bit. Is he going to get help? Is he going to come? He's looking.
Back behind you.
He almost squeezed Harvick into the wall, and here comes Harvick, the 29 with Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose.
And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution.
It'll come in here from the right in the bottom lane. Clint Boyer gets slid sideways. Whammo. Here are 2 of the Roush Fenway Fords and all the Michael Waltrip Toyotas in. Krista.
Well, Greg Biffle thought he was toast. When everyone came, he said we should have come. But instead, Matt Kenseth came with him. They think they're going to be okay. They're making a track bar and air pressure adjustment for the number 16. Oh, a wrench was stuck. I think they're okay.
Out in front of the Daytona 500.
That dog, he's in a hunt, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we were talking about the race pace getting up in the mid-high 48s. Now they're back down in the 47-second bracket.
You ain't too bad there. That's the fastest you've been, even in that draft.
That's what you're going to hear across the board. Speeds will go up, grip's better now. Everybody can run a little bit harder, a little bit more wide open. See what happens here. I got a feeling that
he tried to stay off of Scott Speed in the 82, and he drove down in front of Greg Biffle. But look at that, a hard lick there.
I love it that they finally put the safer barrier there. That used to be a dirt bank several years ago, and boy, it was worse than hitting a wall.
You would know. You hit that thing a ton. Wasn't it 4th of July race?
No, it was in the 500 in 83.
And you know, no one did anything wrong there. Scott Speed got loose. Joey Logano tried to stay off of him. Greg Biffle in the 16 was right there.
And Chris, when you look at the cars that are parked here on the grid, the flavor at the front, heavy Ford, is 5 of the top 6 cars are Fords. And Greg, you were joking that for about the last 80 laps, you're sitting in probably about the worst spot you've been.
Yeah, you know, we're 6th right now, and the 3 and Ford Fusion cars drove so good today. I'm just really happy about it. But, you know, hats off to our group. You know, these Ford engines are running really good, and the Ford cars are handling good. So really excited about it. Just hope we get this thing back going again. You know, we're like I said, that's the worst we've been in about 80 laps. We've been running, dicing it up at the front. So we want to continue to do that. I think we're putting on a good show. And I know business is going to start picking up. It's getting cooler out here. The cars are going to pick up speed.
Handicapping some of the cars behind us, walking us through who you think may be the guys you definitely have to deal with.
Well, we're wondering where the 14 and the 18 are. You know, they were fast early, and you know, you can't count out, you know, a lot of those guys. There's some fast cars still. The 24 showed some strength, so you know, there's a lot of good guys, and all these guys up front right here, you know, we're all about the same speed.
All right, Krista.
2 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Here we go.
Green flag.
It's all on the line, boys. If Harvick
got a decent restart.
Harvick wants so badly to clear that 16 car and drop to the bottom. That would be what would work for him.
Still there. You're clear, you're clear, you're clear.
Now, see, the 33 has the option. Do I stay in the high line? Do I stay in the low line? He can work both sides of this deal and go with the car that's coming the fastest.
Well, he jumped back up in front of his teammate, but here comes that inside line.
Boy, that was a team player right there to jump out there and help Harvick like that.
He's going to have about one more chance.
And you
as
see
Greg Biffle takes the lead, and Bill Elliott gets piled up in turn number 4 with, I believe, Joey Logano.
Caution's out.
The caution's out. The leader has not taken the white flag, so we will go into overtime.
Biffle's last win, September 2008, Dover, Delaware. Pace car is in, green flag, green white checker. Here we go.
Oh boy, that 56 got a great restart.
And he's got Harvick pushing him when he took the green flag.
He's got Harv all up behind him.
Harvick trying for the bottom. Made it!
He tried to put the block on him, but Harvick was there.
That's what he
wanted. Wham, bam, and here we go.
Here we go, boys.
That's why Harvick had to get to the bottom. His car is junk on the top.
Look at McMurray in that one, jump to the bottom.
Oh, I got another wreck. Dadgum.
Casey Kane.
Caution is out. So we'll try
Casey
it again.
Kane in the 9, Robert Richardson in the 38.
Now I want to know who the visionary was that said we better try this 3 times.
Here we go. Green flag.
Pretty much a dead heat. It looks like Kevin got a little bit of a jump on the 29, got a little jump on the 1 car, and there's Dad-to-be Carl Edwards right in the back of the 29, pushing hard as he can. Here we go up to back, 2 by 2, except the cat out front.
But look at the run. McMurray will get down that back straightaway, getting bumped from Greg Biffle in the 16 car. Biffle's all over the back of it. Edwards looks in the middle.
Whoa, I think
that'll hurt Harvick.
If I'd have been Harvick, I'd have gone to the outside and gone with that fast line.
Here comes Truex fighting his way back on the outside in that 56, but not a lot of help out there.
3 wide. Here comes Dale Jr. pushing Clint Boyer.
Where'd Junebug come from?
This will be the white flag. Jamie McMurray is in front to try to win the 500. This will be the last lap.
Whatever happens now happens, folks. They can all wad up down here, and somebody's going to leave out that second turn, the winner.
Junior on the bottom with Boyer. Biffle ahead.
Truex trying to get up there and help McMurray, but Boyer's right there behind Biffle in the 16. There goes Boyer to the outside.
Look at Junior. Come on, Junior. Come on.
Can they make it to the flag?
Nah, no way. They'll never get through this 3rd turn.
Junior got squirreled up right there.
No, it's just perfect. He's flying through there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. unbelievably has caught Jamie McMurray as they come to turn 4.
He'll have to go to the high side, though. McMurray will guard that line.
Crash at the back, never mind. Green flag still out. Checkered flag in the air. The 52nd Daytona 500 to Jamie McMurray.
Hey, buddy.
Unbelievable.
You're spinning your tires out. I'm going to get him straight.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
How about that run down the back?
Trouble turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Kozlowski, David Rudeman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. Come on. Still coming. We're the front round over here, guys. The one is to the right side.
So Carl Edwards and David Reagan are drafting along at the bottom of your screen. They're coming up to Kenseth and Biffle, their other Roush teammates. Bonk.
Carl says, let me show you how that feels. So, but I didn't do it.
Now Biffle is 16 laps down in car number 16 after being involved in the wreck at lap 30. The 2009 winner of the 500, Matt Kenseth, has crashed hard in the tri-oval. He's climbed out of the car. He is okay. He was being bump drafted by Greg Biffle. You're riding with Biffle.
Guy in front of Matt can't pick a lane.
I think Biffle was trying to go down to get him behind Matt and just mistimed it a little bit, clipped him in the right rear and shot him into the outside wall. And again, see all those styrofoam blocks? That's the safer barrier. Man, that is the greatest thing since interliners and tires.
Truex will bring him off the corner. Here is Dick Berggren.
Matt Kenseth, trouble on the racetrack.
And it is Montoya crashing along with Greg Biffle. And again, Montoya makes a great save to come down pit road as the caution flag flies for the 11th time today. Top of your screen, here they come off turn 4.
Well, I think you got to remember something too about that 16 car. It's been wrecked once, and so it's not handling all that great. And Montoya just got into the back of him. And you know, Larry, one thing, and Mike, these guys have been so complimentary of each other. Oh, it wasn't his fault. Just racing.
Look at that yellow car of Kurt Busch dive to the inside and escape down pit road, as does Ryan Newman.
So much of that has to do with this fresh asphalt. It has a ton of grip. You can turn that car just dead left straight down pit road.
Ford's at the front, a Toyota and Chevy in row 2. Green flag. And Biffle gets about a half a car length away from Denny Hamlin here and moves up to pick up his Ford teammate, Greg Biffle.
Boy, that is a teammate right there, buddy. I mean, he jumped out there, got him.
Dale Jr. had no help, but he locks on the back of Biffle, second and third.
I don't think it'll do Dale Jr. any good because I don't think Biffle's going to go anywhere. If he's a team player like Kenseth has been, he'll sit right there.
They've got a lap and a half to find out.
Now, when they come off of turn 4 and Dale Jr. is still pushing him,
could be a whole different story.
I'd say things might pick up.
They're looking for the white flag this time.
Once we get into this lap, if anything should happen down in turn 1 or 2 or 3 and 4, it's over.
Three-car breakaway. Junior tucked up tight under the bumper of Biffle. Kenseth leads to turn 1, final lap.
Denny Hamlin in the 11's there with no one to push him.
Actually, he might actually be hurting those 2 cars in front of him if he gets back too far. But here we go. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen pretty quick.
We've seen where the timing of where you do it is so critical.
Those 2 cars, the 16 and the 88, should be able to get by Kenseth if Biffle elects to take the chance.
Ford Chevrolet off the final corner. Matt Kenseth trying to win it for the second time. Here comes Junior to the outside. Side by side with Kenseth. He runs out of time. Matt Kenseth wins the Daytona 500.
You look to be in position. You got out of the car shocked. What happened? You had Junior pushing, and what happened?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I don't know what happened there. I mean, he was against me for 2 full laps, and I couldn't pull up on the 17. It's like the 17 had more motor or something at the end. It's like he floored it, and we couldn't catch him. But, you know, I think I was shoving him out, and I tried to make a move maybe on the back to kind of move up, but we didn't have a run. We needed a run. I needed a gap between us and the 17, and we just didn't have that gap. I maybe needed to drag the brake and try and push the 88 back and slow him down so we could get a run at it. But, you know, I thought Junior would push me up to the back bumper of him and I'd side draft him and go by him. But, and then it would be me and Junior over here at the line. But it wasn't meant to be. I learned a little bit there, and I think Junior's shocked too that the car didn't push up. But, you know, 3 and Ford Fusion, these guys, and Doug Yates, everybody, I'm so happy for starting the season out like this.
Great way to set a tone to start out the 2012 season.
Go now or finish second.
When we cross the start-finish line, it's a race. And oh, by the way, it's not over. It's just now on.
Darrell, keep an eye on Dale.
Oh, car in the wall, hard. Turn 1. And it's one of the BK cars. It's the 93 of Travis Quapple. No caution. NASCAR, if the track is clear, they will let them finish. We are still green. And here come the leaders.
Yeah, Mark Martin is really pushing Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88.
Jr. to the inside of Greg Biffle. The green flag still flies. Martin's number 55. Keselowski in the 2. Biffle backing up. Patrick behind him for the second time. The Daytona 500 goes to Jimmy Johnson, 5-time champion for Cajon, California.
Thanks, Matt. I'm here with Greg Biffle. Second coming to the white flag one more time. What happened coming down the back straight? Because it looked like you were in a catbird's position one more time.
Yeah, we were. You know, I started backing up to Danica a little bit, and, you know, the 48 car started backing up to me. So that was, you know, that was a little bit of an issue. But, you know, we really tried to, you know, the 88 laid way back, and he had such a run on the bottom. I just didn't think going down and blocking the 88, I figured I was going to get wrecked. He had too much of a head of steam. And the bottom really hadn't worked that well all day. And, you know, I figured he was going to stall out down there, and I guess they just had enough cars lined up that they got a big run down there.
Well, a good strong run there by Greg Biffle. Didn't quite get it done today, but Krista, he's fairly happy with what happened here at Daytona.
Eric Almirola back in the race after crash damage repaired. Brian Vickers onto pit road. 26 laps left. If Mother Nature allows.
Oh, I think we're going to make it to the end. I don't think there's any problem there.
But Darrell, every driver in that pack is driving like it's the last lap, because it could be.
Well, they may not be as confident as I am we're going to make it to the end, but there goes Carl Edwards into 99. He said he's going to get up there and get him a little lead.
Now, Mike, pit road will be open. We're over a third of the way through a fuel run. I think you're going to see a lot of these drivers get 4 tires, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see a lot of them go with just 2 rights.
Jamie Gale Jr. saying that the car is a bit tight. He tried running the tire fans, but said that 88 got snappy loose going into the corner. Looks like 2 tires on the 88. Matt?
Joey Logano, Jeff Gordon, and Greg Biffle all complaining about the same issue. The car extremely tight, especially off turn 4. Biffle opted for 4 tires to make a much more significant adjustment this early in the race to try to make some big gains.
Greg Biffle running in 10th place, slowed at the end of the back straightaway, got himself out of traffic, and now comes to pit road. Chris Neville.
Well, Mike, just heard Greg Biffle on the radio said, I've got a right rear that cut down. You can see a lot of damage to the back right corner of that car, and really a tough break for him. He's had a great day going. Said the balance of that car has been pretty strong all day. He's been running pretty much in the top 10.
Yeah, the old Colonel lost his little...
And debris is caused the caution here at lap 119. Fourth caution flag of the day.
Not surprised. You can see just tire debris flying everywhere there.
Takes a lot of talent to keep that car going at that speed in a straight line. Certainly a lot of damage as you see the carcass of the tire come apart and start tearing up that quarter panel. Going to have a big effect on his race as we move forward. Really hard to for the team to really fix that kind of a damage to the right rear.
Well, as you saw in our side-by-side coverage, caution is out for the 6th time today. Danica Patrick, Greg Biffle, and now Paul Menard's on pit road overheating. Let's see what happened here with 16 laps to go. You're riding with Biffle.
He gets a big run here on Danica, goes to the inside. Danica wants to squeeze him and try to prevent him from making that pass. He clips her and turns her right into the grass, and unfortunately he turns himself as well into that outside wall.